Уважаемые зрители, звучит государственный гимн Португалии.
Please rise for the national anthem of Portugal.
Внимание, дорогие друзья! Звучит государственный гимн Российской Федерации.
Please remain standing for the national anthem of Russia.
A very good day to you. This is the rain-soaked Luzhniki Stadium in Moscow, ahead of what it is not unreasonable to consider the standout match amongst today's World Cup qualifiers. Group F will almost certainly be won by either Russia or Portugal, and their face-to-face meetings now and in Lisbon next June will surely dictate which of them will head automatically to Brazil 2014 and which will be jeopardised by a playoff. Igor Denisov and Cristiano Ronaldo, the two captains. Ronaldo's fitness was in question. He is okay, and there is the Portuguese team. Paulo Bento has named the same 11 for 8 of their last 9 competitive games, but he had to sweat on 2 or 3 this time. Both Pepe and Cristiano Ronaldo were injured in last Sunday's Clásico at Barcelona, and Raul Meireles hobbled out of training yesterday. 2 out of 3 ain't bad. The Real Madrid pair are both good to go, but Meireles isn't, and his place goes to Ruben Mikhail of Braga. Bento's recent record really very good, disregarding a penalty shootout against Spain in the European Championships. They haven't lost since the first game in Russia and Poland. Here's the Russian side, Fabio Capello gradually remoulding them after the anticlimax of those championships. Again, no Arshavin, no Pogrebnyak. Kurtzakov continues to lead the line. The top referee in Victor Kashai of Hungary, who has had charge of a Champions League final and a World Cup semi-final. It's simple, but pretty unforgiving. Only one team qualifies direct for the World Cup finals. There may not be room for both of these in Brazil. Lifted away early for the Portuguese by Coentrão. The rest of Group F is already falling away. Russia against Portugal here feels very much like a straight shootout on what is, you will recall, I'm sure, an artificial surface here at the Luzhniki, a very modern and player-friendly one, which has improved over the years since it was first introduced, and seems to bring no disadvantage to anyone anymore. It is a gradually evolving Russian team since the summer. Fabio Capello in charge for the fourth time now. He is still to lose a game. He's been no respecter of the big-name reputations. He has left out one or two key players. Kokorin. Clever ball over the top into the path of Vladimir Bistrov, who handled. Carried away by Ronaldo, and Anyukov meets him full-bloodedly. That's been a good start for Capello, who has had to win back the trust and the interest of Russian supporters who became quite disillusioned by the end of the summer. Began with a fairly disenchanting friendly draw against the Ivory Coast, but has won both qualifiers so far without conceding a goal. 2-0 against Northern Ireland, 4-0 in Israel. But if you look at Group F, it really does look like a two-horse race, and these are the two horses. Luxembourg, Northern Ireland, Azerbaijan and Israel each have a point each, and only a point after 2 games. These are the two giants with 6 each. Pepe. Bruno Alves. Very settled Portuguese back line, just the one change in midfield. João Pereira. Picked off by Denisov. And forward towards Shirikov. Kokorin bounced off the challenge of Miguel Veloso. The throw goes Portugal's way. World Cup with one extraordinary outcome. Actually, 8 years game here in Moscow was quite stark in its contrast. It was a goalless draw. Portugal finished top of that group and qualified unbeaten. Russia missed out on the finals altogether. So it's safe to say they're a much better team now than they were then. João Pereira. Nicked forward to Nani, nicked on for Ronaldo, and nicked away from Ronaldo by Bistrov. And Ronaldo's already hobbling. On the lime green boot. Coentrão. Veloso. Ruben Mikhail. João Pereira forward from right full back. Pepe. Gladly past fit quite late in the day. Postiga. Mikhail. Pereira. Laid off by Mikhail. Attempting the delivery was João Pereira. He has got a throw, last off Dmitry Kombarov. Postiga missed his kick. And Kombarov completed a partial clearance. Veloso. Pereira. Mikhail. Scratched away by Kombarov. Portugal's throw. Some dismay by Ruben Mikhail in the face of the referee. The Braga midfield player felt that he was on the wrong end of a roughish challenge from Denisov, the opposing captain, and/or Kokorin, striker, who's back doing his defensive work. Moved out by Ignashevich. Bruno Alves. by Pereira. Ruben Mikhail. Snatched back by Kokorin. And fed into a channel here for Russia to take the lead. Alexander Kurtsikov. Inside 6 minutes in Moscow. Hasn't scored a club goal for a month, but scores his third goal for his country in 2 internationals. Deftly played through by Shirokov and finished without a glimmer of a doubt by Alexander Kurtsikov.
Мяч в ворота сборной команды Португалии забил Александр Киржаков, номер 11.
And this immaculate start to Russia's qualifying campaign goes on. 7 unanswered goals, and none more significant than this one against their chief rivals in Group F. Portugal now will feel, as indeed they literally are, a long, long way from home. Right across the breadth of the continent, from the relatively mild climes of Lisbon and Porto, in wet, unwelcoming Moscow, and with a deficit. Alves crunching in on Kurtsikov, who left the 2 centre-halves, Alves included, in his wake. Not tight enough this time, did Alves, who, of course, plays his club football in Russia with Zenit St. Petersburg now. What sort of a welcome he gets in Moscow as a St. Petersburg player is open to some question. Sharply in by Shirokov, who was responsible for the splendid pass that put Kurtsikov in. And Paolo Bento has problems. His campaign has started reasonably well too, with 2 wins, though a little less convincingly indeed. They trailed Luxembourg in Luxembourg for quite a while in the first game before turning it round and winning just 2-1. More comfortable at home to Azerbaijan last time out. And here's an altogether different test. Ronaldo, who's played in a Champions League final on this ground, scored a goal and then had a shootout penalty saved by Petr Cech. Memory serves, it was raining pretty hard on that occasion too. Moutinho. Pereira. Cushioned out by Beretzutsky. He's then strong in the challenge too. Nani has done very well to keep this alive and to get inside of Kombarov, who needed reinforcement. Clearance reached Moutinho. Ruben Mikhail. Away by Kombarov. Veloso. Ruben Mikhail. João Pereira. Oh, it's a good-looking cross, which, in a sense, Ignashevich was fortunate not to make better contact with, facing his own goal as he was. It's a horrible hack at it. And whilst he yields a corner, he can consider himself lucky that it wasn't something considerably worse. Moutinho to take. Away for Fayzulin. Moutinho. Ronaldo! Akinfeev plunged at his near post. Good response by Portugal. You know that Ronaldo is always likely to be a source of danger. His current club form is frighteningly good. 8 goals in his last 3 matches. 2 hat-tricks and 2 against Barcelona in the Nou Camp. Coutinho's corner, nicked on at the near post. Thumped back in by Bruno Alves. And nudged over the crossbar by Elder Postiga. Well kept alive by Ruben Mikhail. Lifted back in by Alves and just turned over by Postiga, who's playing his club football now in Spain with Real Zaragoza. Second season there since leaving Sporting. Scored goals in both internationals last month. Kokorin. Denisov forced back. Berezutski. Out by Pepe. Postiga getting up, down by Moutinho. Ronaldo with Anyakov right at his back. Shirikov trying to feed it through. Russian appeals for handball. Upheld against Miguel Veloso. Ronaldo displeased at the proximity of Anyakov. Official protection. Berezutski. Kokorov went to ground, having clashed with Pepe, and this time it's the Russian who's found guilty. There's White. It's a high foot. Coentrao of Real Madrid. Not that he's getting many games for that club at the moment, given the form of Marcelo. Forward for Postiga, he tried to play it back from Moutinho. Swept away by Ignashevich. Ronaldo cutting a fairly irritated frame. Coentrao's throw, rugged challenge from Berezutski. The words rugged challenge and Berezutski often find themselves in the same sentence. And he has yielded a free kick, forward from which comes Nani, as well as the 2 centre-halves, Pepe and Bruno Alves. Played in by Veloso. Bruno Alves! That's a very good save from Akinfeev, who had very little reaction time and got down hurriedly to repel it. Strong-wristedly got the ball out of the immediate danger zone. Pereira. Ronaldo. In by Nani, and behind for a corner. It's turning into a really good contest, this, after Russia's early goal. Portugal have had a very good fling at their hosts, and there was nothing wrong with the header from Bruno Alves. Really good save, actually, with his bottom hand by Akinfeev. Coutinho to take, Nani, chased out by Kombarov. kept by Pepe. Coutinho. Ruben Mikhail, that's one that went wrong. Did score against Azerbaijan last month for Portugal, and for a moment he must have thought he'd scored then. It really is an exceptional reaction from Igor Akinfeev, who plays his club football here for CSKA. Won the derby against Spartak here on Sunday, having beaten Dinamo in the other derby a week earlier, so good times for CSKA. Second in the Russian league, behind the wealth of Anzi. Whistle's gone as a result of Shirikov's over-eagerness. Miguel feigning some sort of sympathy. It's Chow who stayed down. Don't have great defensive cover on the bench, actually, Portugal. Three relatively inexperienced reserve defenders in Neto, Lopez and Sereno. But the extremely experienced defenders found themselves 15 yards out of touch when Kurtzakov broke between them and established a lead for Russia at his expense 6 minutes in. Kurtzakov, a 22nd international goal. For Coentrao, very obviously a problem. Just hope he can run it off. Veloso. Coentrao. Alves. Pereira. Alves. It's a lovely ball for Nani, who can run at Kombarov here. Against Ignashevich. Taken cleared by Fayzulin. We have to stop again because Coentrao is evidently not repairable. This is Miguel Lopez of Porto. And yeah, there's news that another Portuguese gentleman by the name of Mourinho won't be very pleased about. One of his Real Madrid fullbacks has picked up an injury here, which I must say, if it is a tear and that's how it looks, would be likely to keep him out of club action for a little while. So the end of the game for Coentrao. Despite what it says there about Hugo Almeida, I can assure you that this is Miguel Lopez, number 19.
Substitution for Portugal. Player number 5,
Pereira.
Fabio Coentrao,
Nani.
is replaced by player number 19, Miguel Lopez.
Coutinho. for Mikhail, aimed at Postiga, away by Ignashevich. Clattered away by Kombarov for Kurtzikov to chase. Pepe very aware of him. Nani again, Pereira behind him, taking on Kombarov. Pereira, well charged out by Fazulin. Coutinho. Pereira, Postiga. Russia got bodies around it. Bustrov rolled it out. Nani has it back. Pepe. From Postiga catching Anyukov. That's what so upset Fabio Capello. From Denisov, by Bruno Alves. Denisov once more. Lopez. Coutinho. Nani. Away from Kombarov. So taken away by Vasily Berezutski, who in turn was dispossessed by Pereira. Nani. Ronaldo was right on the goalkeeper's shoulder, but Nani's cross didn't reach him. Kurtzikov. Good progress by Fazulin. Kurtzikov. Held up by Pepe. Kurtzikov. Pereira kept it from going behind. It's not a corner, but it is a throw. Denisov. Patricio, the Portuguese goalkeeper from Sporting Lisbon, who lost his big club game of the season at the weekend. Sporting beaten at Porto on Sunday by 2-0. Coutinho. Pereira. Nani. Ruben Mikhail. Postiga. Nani. Flags up, whistle's gone, Nani's penalised. Denisov. Bistrov. Exchanging with Shirikov. By the substitute Lopez under pressure from Shirikov. Lopez winning only his third international cap. Big night for him. Bistrov. Denisov couldn't feed it through for Shirikov. Then came Ruben Mikhail and then Ronaldo, tackled by Ignashevich. Lifted forward here for Vladimir Bistrov, who just ran out of pitch. Grappling with Lopez as he went. Nani. And again Nani, two waiting, and he's lashed it across and over. I guess it's all part of the package, with the sort of flair he brings to the side, Nani. There were more rational options here. But he saw the goal out of the corner of his eye, and he had a crack at it. Not entirely comfortable, Capello. A year this week since his last competitive England game, actually. A game in which Wayne Rooney was sent off in Montenegro. I wonder whether he'll afford himself a smile when he learns that a year on, Wayne Rooney is England captain tonight. Here's Bistrov. Bistrov. Denisov. Clouted out by Pereira. Ronaldo. Postiga. Coutinho. Pereira. Coutinho. He was asked to put it out so that Kasai can deal with other business, that business being Cristiano Ronaldo, for whom Pepe is making a stout case. Face of puzzlement on the Italian in charge of Russia. Now, how's this happened? Anyakov and Ronaldo have had a fair bit to do with each other. I'm not sure that Anyakov left too much on the Portuguese captain. There was a collision. Nothing that was going to do any marked damage. Veloso. Postiga. Next off Ignashevich. Pepe. And Postiga again, and once more Ignashevich affected the clearance. Bruno Alves. Lopez. Across behind Ronaldo. Zeva wants to toy with defenders, but Anyakov is a pretty sturdy one. Zutski penalised for his challenge on Postiga. It's the last quarter of an hour of an engaging first half here, in which Russia took an early lead. Since when Portugal have had a lot more of the ball. In by Veloso. Down for Moutinho. Russia were looking for a flag, it wasn't forthcoming. Bistrov has put it out of play. Miguel. Nani. Oh, it's just over the crossbar by the head of Sergei Ignashevich, who's flirted with his own goal a couple of times in the game. One mishit volley, and one flick header there. It's within a foot or two of the crossbar. Back in by Moutinho, and Postiga's header was always clearing the bar. A couple of club goals this season with the Real Zaragoza for Alder Postiga, as well as his 2 international goals last month. The winner in Luxembourg, and the second of 3 against Azerbaijan. Kokorin. Patricio given the hurry up. It's a clean enough clearance. Mexico hungry for more goals. And here is Kurtzakov. And there was a fair target area. He threw his left boot at it. Rui Patricio was pretty much exposed. Lovely touch from Kokorin. But slightly shinned, I think. Ronaldo. Nani. Veloso. Lopez. Ignashevich. Ronaldo. Miguel Veloso. It's a good idea. Just too far in advance of Jean Moutinho, who approves of the thought. Ronaldo. It's a lovely little touch. Nani. Ankles of Kombarov. Beautifully invented from Ronaldo. It's the better side of watching him play. I must say, Kombarov made the most of that. He was in danger of losing the ball, and Nani was right to indicate he just went shoulder to shoulder. Anyakov, Bistrov, Bruno Alves. For Portugal, who in terms of ranking are theoretically at least ahead of Russia at the moment. Portugal ranked 3rd in the world by FIFA, behind only Spain and Germany. Russia back in 12th between Croatia and France. So that sometimes those rankings are hard to fathom. Kick against Shirokov. Portuguese have been absolutely perfect since the European Championships. Had a friendly win against Paraguay, and then those two qualifying wins. Disregarding their penalty shootout defeat by Spain in the semi-finals of the summer competition. They are unbeaten in 7 since losing to Germany in the opening game of the European Championships. Bistrov. Shirokov. Away from in front of Coquelin by João Pereira. Lifted in by Kombarov. Out by Moutinho. Mikhail. Ronaldo. You saw what he saw, which was the dash of Ruben Mikhail. It didn't reach its intended destination. Nice from Coquelin. And now Denisov. Ronaldo, Moutinho. Veloso, Pereira, Nani, Pereira, Nani, Postiga, the goalkeeper. Had a lively game though, Elder Postiga. Pepe's touch was poor. Kurtzakov wants to make him pay. Pepe went ruggedly back in. Kurtzakov is inflamed. No free kick given. Also has taken one club too many. Point now, the Russian. There's no more fouler than fouled. Touch. Foul throw. Moutinho. Spread for Nani. Comes away from Coquelin. Moutinho. Nani. Kept from Ronaldo by Berezutski. Pereira. For Postiga. Veloso. Pereira. Coutinho, Ronaldo gave it him back. It's a pass that didn't dovetail with his run, but Portugal do have a throw inside the last 5 minutes of the half now. Ronaldo, Coutinho. Ruben Mikhail, Miguel Lopez, Veloso, Coutinho, Pereira, by Shirikov, bitten off by Bruno Alves. Mikhail. Lopez. Mikhail. Nani. Berezutski. Lopez beaten to it. Kurtzakov holding it up. Faizulin. Shirikov. Kokorin. Had his ankle tapped just outside the penalty area by Veloso, who can't be surprised to see that yellow card. It was a needs-must challenge as Kokorin threatened to whip past him. Enough covering defenders and enough work still to do to ensure that the card was just yellow and not red. Even so, it invites on pressure here right at the end of the half. Kashai ensuring the appropriate distance between ball and wall. Kombarov and Kurtzakov behind the ball. It's Kurtzakov, rather plain one into the wall. Kurtzakov again, little less plain. He's suggesting that someone in the wall handled it. Coutinho would have done well to get out of the way. Nani. Ball through from Coutinho, who broke the challenge with Denisov but couldn't take the ball with him. Bistrov. Shirikov alongside, Kurtzakov ahead of him. Bistrov just kept on running, Pepe came to challenge him, and this time the challenge was deemed clean. That one's not. There'll be 1 minute added on. A minute that Portugal are eager to use.
The first half is 1 minute.
Ronaldo, shoved by Shirikov. Bistrov is still referring back to previous incidents. Ronaldo knows that he's likely to get one kick of the ball before half-time now. Ronaldo maximising the moment. Capello cynical about the moment. This is all that remains of the first half in Moscow. One Cristiano Ronaldo strike. Ronaldo pitched in front of the goalkeeper, but straight at him. And so half-time. Actually a really enjoyable football match between two technically adept teams in pretty horrid conditions. The only goal was scored early through a square Portuguese defence by that man Kurtzakov for Russia. Since when Portugal have had the best chances, but the Portuguese deficit remains. Alexander Kurtzakov after 6 minutes. It's Russia 1, Portugal 0. Have it to chase. Pretty satisfactory first half for Fabio Capello, though his team were once or twice vulnerable and in debt to their goalkeeper Akinfeev, who made one particularly good low plunging save from a Bruno Alves header. Ronaldo has had his influential moments, but hasn't been able to impact tangibly on the game so far. Game which will determine who takes charge of European World Cup qualifying Group F. And before the start of the second half, Russia are effecting a change. They're bringing on Denis Glushakov, who did actually start their last international last month in Israel. He returns to the side for what remains of this game. In place of Victor Fayzulin, who had indeed replaced him.
Вместо Виктора Файзулина, номер 20, играет Денис Глушаков.
So Portugal have to get on the front foot, and they attempt to start the second half
Player number 20,
exactly
Victor
that way.
Fayzulin, is replaced by player number 8, Denis Glushakov.
Watching in the first half the notable qualifying meetings between these two some 6 years ago. They've also met in competitive football in the European Championships in Portugal in 2004. Stadium of Light, Lisbon. Portugal won that game 2-0. It was a game partly notable for the sending off of the Russian goalkeeper, Sergei Ovchinnikov. Ovchinnikov, as it happens, is now the Russian goalkeeping coach. Pereira. Nani. By Kombarov. Kurtzakov stole it. Denisov. Foul on him by Ruben Mikhail. Shirokov. Bistrov. Tackle from Lopez. Shirikov. Anyukov, too much on it for Kurtzakov. Panicky in his clearance was João Pereira, who possibly had more time than he was aware of. Anyukov split the difference between the two on-rushing strikers. He was able... Got a bonus corner here of Russia. Forward from full-back has come Kombarov to take it. Not as far as Denisov. Berezutski, Anyukov. Profitable take by Rui Patricio. Nani. Ronaldo, Nani. Bursting away from Kombarov. Feeling he was being fouled as he went and having a pretty stern word with the referee's assistant. Kombarov took him by the arm. Certainly no sympathy from the Hungarian referee. Glushakov for the first time. Welcome to the game by Jean Moutinho. It's been a pretty physical game. Not a few moments of close contact. Here's Kokorin, looking to get round the back of Pepe. And requiring Rui Patricio to intervene at his near post. Ronaldo. Away from Anyukov. Moutinho dispossessed by Glushakov. Moutinho. Nani. Alves. They're looking to roll round Anyukov, and this time he does get a free kick. Battling away, smartly by Denisov. Forward early towards Kurtzakov. Lifted out for Nani, reclaimed by Denisov. That's Glushakov. Bistrov. Did well to wriggle between two. Kurtzakov couldn't get there quite in time to help him. Hard on Moutinho. Capello clearly didn't see that as an offence. Qualified for the last 3 European Championships, but they've failed to qualify for the last 2 World Cups. So this result, if it is indeed what it becomes, is one that they would hope help them on their way to Brazil for the first World Cup tournament since Korea, Japan. Mikhail. Taken back by by Shirikov, foul on Denisov by retreating Ruben Mikhail. Shirikov trying to put in Kurtzakov, and Kurtzakov's played a peach of a ball here for Bistrov, who has to settle for a corner. Just for a moment he saw clear grass in front of him between himself and goal. It's closed down by Lopez. Smart little ball from Kurtzakov, clearly onside. Flag did stay down, but Bistrov was denied further progress by Lopez. Kombarov's take, high from Pepe. Denisov. Coutinho. Space here for Ronaldo. He's got a fullback dashing up alongside him. Rolled it in for Ruben Mikhail. Fair came to get. Ruben Mikhail, spooned in towards Postiga. Watched out by Ignashevich, came to Moutinho, Pereira, Nani. Pereira, Moutinho, Nani. Postiga lost sight of the ball. Moutinho has it back. Miguel Veloso, Nani. Taken back by Ruben Mikhail. Bruno Alves. Could be a spell of Portuguese possession this, 10 minutes into the second half in Moscow. Ronaldo. Got away from Bistrov, but again, not Anyakov. A very good battle, that. Portugal's corner. Postiga liked the cross. First off for Vasily Berezutski. He's the one of the twins who missed the European Championships with a thigh injury. Alexei, his twin brother, is currently injured. Miguel Veloso. Kurtzakov. And by Glushakov. There's good strength from Pepe. The offside flag is raised against Elder Postiga. And rightly so. First offside of the game. Taken nearly an hour. Veloso. It's lovely for Nani. Lovely touch from Nani. Ronaldo dashed in at the near post, but he couldn't convert after Pereira had helped it. Dovetail with his run, really good adventure from the fullback. And Ronaldo found the angle just too tight. He has though got a corner. Moutinho. And Moutinho again. Away by Berezutski. Shuffled wide by Ruben Mikhail. In by Lopez. Nani's header. And Akinfeev just about collected cleanly enough. Pepe. It's an unnecessary release of pressure which will irritate Paulo Bento, because Portugal have been ratcheting things up over the last 5 or 6 minutes. Lovely feather-light touch from Nani. Pereira had done very well to join the attack. Nashevich was tight to Ronaldo. Russia's goal remained intact. Bischoff. Sort of taken turn from Shirikov, so there was no one there to benefit from his touch. Ruben Mikhail. He's got himself, driven it against Ignashevich. Chastising himself for not letting go the shot a shade earlier. There's a man who can come on and move things up a gear for Russia, Jagoyev. So the Portuguese have 7 attacking options as well. Silvestre Varela of Porto, perhaps principal amongst those. Adair of Braga as well has been in great scoring form just recently. Some are calling for his selection from the start. Nani, Ronaldo, Nani again. Suggestion that Anyakov might have handled. The referee wasn't having any of that. Through by Moutinho, Postiga. Drifted in towards Ronaldo. Out as far as Moutinho. Pereira. Pepe. Nani. Well-timed challenge from Berezutski. Lifted forward early for Kurtzakov, who's all on his own up there for Russia. Pepe able to deal with his threat. Ruben Mikhail. Ronaldo. Lopez. Ruben Mikhail. Moutinho. Pereira. Out by Vasily Berezutski. Pepe. By Ronaldo, and it's more out of hope, I think, than expectation by Postiga. As the Russians ponder another change, perhaps. Well taken by Postiga. In for Nani, who drove it against Ignashevich. The big centre-half had his wits sufficiently about him to complete the clearance as well. Increasingly you get the feeling that Portugal deserves something out of this game. Moutinho, Pereira. Moutinho. Do any damage. He isn't a prolific goal scorer, João Moutinho. Lovely, busy buzzer of a midfield player. In his 8th season now at Porto, since moving from Sporting. He'll be with us now.
Уважаемые зрители, в сборной команде России замена.
He's replacing the goal scorer, Alexander Kurtzakov.
Играет Андрей Лещенко, номер 22.
What is not what you would call an orthodox like-for-like change. As though Cochrane has gone to centre forward. Lещенko listed as a defender, winning just his 2nd cap here. So it's a conservative mood by Capello, and you can see Lещенko has slotted into the back 4. And now Silvestre Varela of Porto. He's going to come and try and make a difference for the Portuguese. Bistrov. Glushakov! Not enough force behind the shot to worry Rui Patricio. That was a rather anxious moment for the Portuguese as a whole. Had so much of the ball, and as you see there, many more attempts at goal. Work from Bistrov. Nice take and turn from Glushakov, just didn't catch it sweet. Had he done so, it would have been a picture-book goal. Ruben Mikhail is the player giving way for Varela, whose club form has been excellent of late. Some wanted him to play from the start today.
Substitution for Portugal. Player number 15, Ruben Mikhail, is replaced by player number 18.
Both of these nations have another qualifying game on Tuesday. Russia, another home game actually here against Azerbaijan. Portugal go home to Porto, where they will face Northern Ireland. Varela. Veloso. Nani. It's possessed by Kombarov. Thrown is Pepe's. We have a quarter of the game to play. Varela. Ronaldo. Didn't sit for him. Did score once in Luxembourg for his country since the European Championships Ronaldo, but his club scoring form is astonishing. Altogether, he has 15 goals this season in 13 games for club and country. But not yet today. Shirikov. Bruno Alves. Reclaimed by Shirikov, who was caught in the face. And whilst Shirikov might feel some pain, it's not a bad thing for the Russians. This eats up a bit of time. Gives them a chance to reset themselves, regather themselves after a period under the cosh. Quite why Shirikov's feeling his face after all that is beyond me. He's got his free kick. Kombarov has come over from left back to take it. It's in by Kombarov, out by Pepe. Glushikov. Tough one to disguise. Bruno Alves. Lopez. First time these two met was at a very advanced stage of the tournament. It was the third-fourth playoff. The English World Cup of 1966. Portugal won that, courtesy partly of a goal from one Eusebio. Struck Coutinho on the arm and he is penalised. Sorted it out in front of his goalkeeper, Pepe. Coutinho. Veloso. Glushikov. Towards Kokorin. Kombarov. Slid out for Ronaldo, taken up by Varela, who couldn't muscle around Kombarov. Surrenders a free kick. Ignashevich. Anyukov. Bistrov. Foul at his back by Lopez. Bistrov. Intervention from Lopez from full-back. Coutinho. Ronaldo. Lopez long, Ronaldo after it. And Akinfe aware. Time not on his side, not on their side at all now, Portuguese. Portugal have qualified for the last 5 European Championships, the last 4 World Cups. The only event they've missed since beginning that run in England at Euro 96 was the French World Cup of '98. Kombarov. Corcoran. Actually, Portugal's qualifying record and their tournament record stands pretty harsh scrutiny. They've done extremely well over the last 2 decades. But here's Glushakov, teeing up Shirikov, who could get no purchase on his shot. Of the 8 tournaments for which Portugal have qualified over the last 20 years, they've reached a knockout stage in 7 of them, and the last 4 in 4 of them, including the most recent European Championships and the World Cup in Germany in 2006, and their own tournament in 2004. That's a lovely turn, which was important, that Pepe was aware of. Portugal are going to make one more offensive change, and it is Eder of Braga, who's new to the international scene, preparing to win his 2nd cap off the back of quite considerable public pressure, and indeed, in the form of his own performances for Braga, personal pressure from Eder. Who's scored 4 goals in his last 4 club games. He's coming on for Postiga in a straight swap. Scored the 3rd of 4 gols for his club on Sunday against Olhanense in a 4-4 draw.
Вместо Элдера Поштиги номер 23 играет Эдер номер 20.
Substitution for Portugal.
Veloso.
Player number 23, Elder Postiga,
Lopez.
is replaced by player number 20, Eder.
Has he got his corner? He has. Nikov instructing those around him to switch on quickly in the Russian defence. Coutinho's take, Akinfeev's punch, back in by Bruno Alves, back out by Berezutski, back in by Bruno Alves, back out by Ignashevich. And then a rather silly and unnecessary foul by Bruno Alves when Portugal could have kept up the pressure there with a throw. Schenko with the free kick. No exaggeration to say that if Portugal do lose this game, then their qualification chances are substantially hit. Awful lot would then rise on the return game between these two in Lisbon next June. It really does look as if there are only 2 runners and riders here in Russia and Portugal. Goal difference could become a factor. But if Russia get 1 win against Portugal under their belt, it really does put them in a strong position. Portuguese have too much to complain about in the performance of their team here, because they have Bistrov again for Glushakov. He was penalised for that challenge on Lopez. Ronaldo. It's now one moment of magic from him. Coutinho, Ronaldo, Veloso. Coutinho, Ronaldo, Ronaldo. Varela. Pereira. Lopez. Out by Ignashevich. Clouted away by Denisov. Off Bruno Alves, and Russia have a throw deep inside Portuguese territory. Really nothing more than a hopeful ball forward. And nobody in a Russian shirt is in a hurry now. Time can't pass fast enough for them. Wins another throw. Certain desperation about the Portuguese body language now. Shrugging and pointing of fingers. Russia have one more change to make. Knocked forward by Pepe, nudged on by Ronaldo, pursued by Adair, hungry and fast young man. Veloso, Moutinho, Shirikov, taken back by Bruno Alves. Varela. Pereira, Bruno Alves, last 10 minutes now, Moutinho. Lopez, Nani. Moutinho. Just too much on the pass. Everything but the last ball from the Portuguese right now. Keeping it classily and passing it snappily. But when Lopez had a real chance to impact, it was a chance that got away. Pepe. Taken back by Glushakov, moved on here for Kokorin, who has Bistrov outside of him. Kokorin! Beaten out by the goalkeeper, Shirikov wide! Well, that surely would have put it to bed. As it is, still just 1-0. And Bistrov, having been involved in that thrilling dash forward, wide of Kokorin here, has had his number held up. Important save by Rui Patricio keeps Portuguese hopes alive. It just didn't sit up kindly enough for Shirikov to get a clean connection with his follow-up. So the end of the piece for Vladimir Bistrov, and he is replaced by Alexander Samadov of Lokomotiv Moscow.
Уважаемые зрители, в сборной команде России замена. Вместо Владимира Быстрова, номер 18, играет Александр Самедов, номер 19.
Substitution for Russia. Player number 18, Vladimir Bystrov, is replaced by player number 19, Alexander Samedov.
Ronaldo. hit his way past Shirikov. In came Kombarov. Well, finally does get his free kick.
Внимание, уважаемые зрители, прослушайте порядок выхода со стадиона по окончании матча. Первыми выходят зрители трибуны А, затем зрители трибуны С, затем зрители трибуны
So feeling an acute sense of injustice on behalf of Ronaldo, indeed, on behalf perhaps of his whole team. Done an awful lot wrong here, but still trail. Moutinho. Up by Glushakov. Nani. Varela can't get on the end of it. And it appears to be getting away. Glushakov. Also caught in possession, Denisov. Followed by Pepe, and that is what Portugal could well do without. His assertion is that Coquelin had handled. The referee wasn't having that. So once more, Patricio must set a wall. Also in it with Moutinho, Varela and Adair. Sergei Ignashevich just might give this a wallop. Glushakov hits it into the wall.
Внимание спортивных журналистов, дорогие друзья, по окончании матча вы приглашаетесь на пресс-конференцию с участием главных тренеров, играющих сегодня команд.
Dear sports journalists, after the match you are invited to the press conference with the head coaches of Portugal and Russia.
Pereira. On by Varela. Ronaldo. Pereira. Ronaldo. He invited the challenge. Particularly amused. But then, that's not a particularly amusing piece of work. Contact, if any, was slight. Russian free kick. More time elapses. Capello, who had charge of England at the last World Cup. Much of a result here that would steer Russia a significant way towards the next. Alves with the desperate clearance. Portugal running out of time. Simply can't afford to concede again now. Driven along by Moutinho. Adair can't hold it up. Helped on its way by Pepe. Taken back by Kombarov. This is Samedov. Shirikov. And away comes Nani. 2 minutes to play now in this pivotal Group F game. Varela. And he can't keep it. Shirikov. There's a foul from Pereira. Both of those inside the Luzhniki Stadium now really on tenterhooks. Tense excitement. Yellow card for Shirikov, presumably for time wasting. First forward by Yashko. Long from Bruno Alves. Adair, he is quick. His indication is that the ball came last off Berezutski. The referee doesn't comply with his wishes. Won by Adair. Moved on by Ronaldo. Varela can't get there. Coutinho. Adair. Coutinho. Ronaldo. Scraped away by Berezutski. Bruno Alves. Nani. 3 minutes stoppage time to play.
Time added to the second half is 3 minutes.
Bruno Alves. Pereira. Varela. Throw in Portugal. Last off Glushakov. Coutinho. It's a giveaway. Samadov, Kokorin. Shirikov. Denisov. Kokorin stumbled, kept the ball. Portuguese have a free kick. Alves waving everybody forward. Why wouldn't he? Desperate stuff now. In by Veloso, and claimed by Akinfeev. Possibly a match-winning catch. Ronaldo's dialogue with the officials continues. Shirikov, Kokorin offside. Perhaps the last chance for Portugal to get the ball forward. He was off, correct decision. Lopez. He'd take a corner now if offered. He's got a corner. This could be time for the goalkeeper to get forward. Kokorin has been booked for standing in the way of the free kick just now and wasting time. That is a little concern to anyone. All about this set piece, which is going to need retaking. All or nothing now for Portugal. Nani's take, out by Kokorin. Back in by Veloso. High from Ignashevich. In goes Adair. Wants a penalty, gets nothing. 20 seconds to hurl this ball in. Alves, Coutinho. Alves, decent delivery. Ronaldo's header. Breaks for Komarov, who scrapes it clear. And the final whistle goes. And Russia have what may be a definitive win in World Cup qualifying. This is the face-to-face that matters, and after round one, it is Russia who are in the driving seat. An early goal from Alexander Kurtsikov, and Capello's immaculate start to his competitive life with the Russian national team continues. Really good game. Portugal perhaps will feel themselves hard done by because they contributed much, but fruitlessly. The final score in the Luzhniki Stadium, Russia 1, Portugal 0.
И помните, вы самые лучшие болельщики в мире. Спасибо!
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for having attended this match. We hope you have enjoyed the match, and we're looking forward to seeing you soon